the unknown. What is it? Is it real? And what is it doing there?
Now they're speaking out, saying there are UFOs in U.S. airspace and they need to be taken seriously.
A family in Highland, Michigan believes their house is actually haunted and thinks something is harming their little girl.
They're unidentified in U.S. airspace.
The U.S. Navy has finally acknowledged that videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real.
I'm Todd Bates. I've been investigating the paranormal for years, yet still have no definite answers. Join me on this mysterious journey as we discuss all things paranormal, right down to the little gnomes. Why do millions experience these mysterious phenomenon, yet we have no proof? Welcome to Haunted Voices Radio, where I try and gather the pieces that may one day form yet another puzzle. And a good evening, one and all. Welcome, Haunted Voices Live, right here, WLTK-DB.com. Get on over there. You can watch the show live from there or through Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Nicole has the night off. Joining me, of course, is my better half, Sherry. She's going to be hanging out tonight. Tonight, we've got Christian Dion, psychic extraordinaire, on here, and we're not going to waste any time. We're just not going to waste any time. It's like opening up, when Christian and I are together, it's like opening up a barrel of monkeys and things just go crazy. But you know what? You've got to have that craziness in this world. And I know you guys saw the holiday intro and everything, and you're probably thinking, oh my God, Todd, seriously? You're like a week, 2 weeks early. No, when you get that bug, you've got to go. And you'll see more of that fun holiday stuff too. But I think without further ado, what do you think, dear? You think it's time to bring on the man?
Bring him on.
He's been waiting patiently backstage. He's completely obliterated our minibar. Without further ado, the one and only Christian Dion. How you doing, Christian?
Hello, my darlings. Hey, listen, I watched that Christmas stuff. It almost looks like you know what you're doing. I was kind of semi-impressed with that. It was kind of, I thought, where's he nicked that from?
Well, thank you.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. Winter is my favorite season. I don't know why. I'm not a summer guy, but
but you live in the middle of the somewhere where it's hot.
The armpit.
I nearly said where you live. Then I was very good.
He called that, didn't he?
Terre Haute.
Terre Haute. He called Terre Haute the armpit of America.
Oh, I'm not that. I just call them flyover states. I'm just very Californian.
What have you been up to, my friend? It's been a while now. We had you on here in the New Year's special and everything. We had
New Year's special. You've never had me back. I kept with it. Maybe if I get to 2022, I'll be fine. And then we've got a new format. It doesn't drag on for hours like it used to do. Just 60 minutes. Just 60. How many commercial breaks?
2.
Oh, it's even better.
Yes. 2 commercial breaks.
Nobody wants to listen to this bloody rubbish anyway, do they really? I bet
right.
I can't sit still. Hang on. There you go. Oh, now I'm so little, the chair. It's like I can't sit still because I'm falling. There you go. Okay. I'll try and behave. Well, that didn't last long, did it? So what we're supposed to be doing, I've forgotten already. Sorry.
It's going to be one of those nights, folks. Post your comments and everything over there. If you're watching us through Facebook, YouTube, if you're watching us through the website, you can put it right through that messenger, and I will actually bring that up here live. That way, if you guys do message,
you know, Rachel Maddow is on MSNBC now. It's way more interesting.
Who?
Oh, yeah, I forgot you live in the middle of America. Rachel Maddow.
Yes, Rachel Maddow, absolutely.
I do like your poster at the back of your. Is that like a new blanket you're selling? Are you flogging them things?
I'm promoting it. It is. This is the wall drop. A little different since the last time you were on here. And
yeah,
they had this at the station store. If you guys want to check that out, you can look at the website, WLTK-DB.com. These things were $23.
Oh, that's a bargain for Christmas. How about T-shirts? Are you flogging them as well?
T-shirts. We've got T-shirts. We've got hoodies. We've got coffee mugs. My goodness, there's so many sweatpants. Yoga pants. Any type of
No
clothes
wonder,
you can think of.
no wonder you're enjoying Christmas this year, you bugger. That's why that commercial's on early. Spend your money with me.
Go
It's
try
like
it.
Scrooge. It's like watching Scrooge and Marley go down road going, oh, which one am I going to? Oh, I'm not giving kids any money. I love that movie. I love that movie.
Well, the one thing I did, and hopefully you guys are happy too, if you are over there shopping by any chance, I took out all the commission. We may make 40, 50 cents on one of these things. Those prices have been lowered so people can actually afford them, because you know how they jack that stuff up.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I'm not going to pay $70 for a hoodie. People won't do that.
No, still made in bloody China. It doesn't matter how much you charge for them. Even Gucci. Oh, talking about Gucci, that's going to be an Oscar winner in the new year with Lady Gaga. It's getting good reviews, and so is, funny enough, that Australian woman. Oh, and Nicole, what's her name again? The one that is married to Keith Urban. Used to be married to Tom Cruise for all of 5 minutes. That one.
Nicole,
she's playing Lucy. It's going to be very good. So there you go. That's 2 predictions. Is that enough now? Can I go? Is that not enough? No. Okay.
I've got a pretty big announcement to make, Christian.
Go on then. Hey, let me do a drum roll. Hang on. Let me get to it. There you go.
This you guys are gonna like this. You guys are
Not
a lot of you listeners remember, I'm a dad, 2 daughters. My oldest daughter recently got married in August. They're pregnant.
They didn't take long. They're in that Victorian way. Honeymoon. Oh, come back, baby on board.
I'm going to be a grandpa.
It's about bloody time.
Grandfather.
Poor child. It's like child abuse, really, making you a granddad. It shouldn't be allowed. It's kind of... Isn't there some like SS service in America that you can go and report you to and get it taken away from you?
There is.
What's the number?
I've got it written down. It's one of those things where,
Oh, my cheeks are starting to hurt.
Because it is. I am. I mean, I'm going to love and adore this child. It's amazing.
Congratulations and celebrations. I'm not known for my singing, but there you go. Well, that's good. Another reason you have to do commercial stuff to earn the money to be able to afford the education for this child in 60. Can you imagine how much it's going to be in 16 years' time?
It's going to be an ungodly.
Lots of money.
And we have to spoil the child and put a bunch of sugar in its system, give it back to dad.
Oh, perfect.
That is.
That's what every time that's what, if you give a baby to me to look after, it's your fault. You know what I mean? It's like, I ain't going to be paying for that therapy down the road. That's you came to me and said, okay, well, on your head be it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. My goodness.
So what are you going to name this child then? Because that's always grandpa's job, really, isn't it?
I don't know. I was thinking
We need some input.
we need I don't know, a name suggestion.
Well, Sage is a nice name because that can be boy or girl. Sage, that's kind of a nod to what you do, isn't it?
That's pretty. Yeah, that is a pretty.
Yeah. What else is
you guys names?
What would have been really funny was if your son-in-law had been pregnant, then you wouldn't need to sell anything. You'd be rich and famous, like. Never mind. There's hope.
That's an idea.
That is
Yeah.
We could travel to different circuses and things.
Oh, we wouldn't need 3 rings. Just put them in the middle. That should get us kicked off YouTube.
There's her comment. See, she doesn't know about that. Yeah, my daughter.
Casey Williamson, I didn't know about it.
Sorry,
on again.
No, but it was quite the shock. I mean, I'm still in shock, and it was really exciting. And
imagine how your poor daughter feels. No, never mind you being in shock.
I haven't possessed that responsibility in years. I mean, thank God for her.
Sherry, give him a smack. What do you want for Sherry? What do you want for Christmas? We might as well ask him now, and then he's embarrassed into getting it. So,
yeah. Put what you want for Christmas here, honey, and that way I have to get it because it's recorded.
Evidence.
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Did you hear that?
Oh.
She just wants my love.
It's it's all right. We've got 55 minutes left. We can something.
55 minutes. Okay. Now, one thing I want to get into, and I know, I mean, there's a lot of people here to see you and everything. What's been going on in your life? What's been happening? I mean, you're all over YouTube. You've got all kinds
Well,
of.
I have been away a little bit because I wasn't too well. It turns out that my original doctors have been giving me asthma medicine for too many years. And then we find out when I come to see a proper doctor here, I didn't have asthma in the first place. And then I got whacked with a few bits and pieces and, family stuff back home. And, my mum's 90 and she's away with the fairies, as I like to say. And so the other day she decided it would be funny to go out the house on a Sunday morning, go across the street to catch the helicopter, do a face plant in the garden. And Maggie, she did have a coat on. She did take a phone with her, which was a miracle. Her shoes were on the wrong feet. And apart from that, she's fine. And then, the SS services, as I call them over there, like, well, we can, if she wants to go out, she's allowed. And I'm like, and trying to deal with stuff 10,000, whatever many miles I am from there, it's not easy. And you can't get there and you can't do this. And it's madness. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And then this whole world's a mess at the minute, and somebody's got to do some sorting out because it just cannot carry on like this. It's just too, I mean, what was that child with AK-47 yesterday or the day before in that cheap suit? They put him in the cheapest suit. They must have got it from the back end of Walmart or somewhere where the sale, I mean, could you imagine sale prices in Walmart? It's cheap enough. I mean, it's so bad. Did you see what they did? That Walmart did. They gave their employees how to get money off the government because they can't afford to live on their wages. You can't make it up. The richest country in the world, and it's like, really? Anyway, this child got let off. Oh well, he didn't mean to shoot them. He was walking down the street with an AK-47. He wasn't going shopping. And I go, it's madness. He's 18 now, I believe, right? 18. And now he wants to run for government. Did you hear that today?
No.
Yeah, put that, well, kind of belongs with that nutters, doesn't he, in there, really? But I mean, it's just, and it was bought for him by somebody else, totally illegally. Oh, but I'm sweat. If he'd have been black, that would have been it. This would have been, we would be having a different conversation. It's disgusting.
So many people are upset by that, and they have every right to be furious because that's just that's the system gone horribly wrong.
Oh yeah. On full view, the camera doesn't lie. There you go. Yeah. Jesus must be also pulling his hair out, I think, at this time. He's thinking, Jesus, oh, should I come back this time round? No, they'll kill you again. Don't come back. Last time they only had wooden nails and things. Now they've got guns, big ones.
Huge.
Send your dad back. Jesus should send God back and say, you have a bloody go, see if you can sort him out. And the other one I like is when people say, oh, do you think there are aliens? And I go, listen, I said, you don't have to worry about them. They're sat out there in the distance waiting. Nah, they're still killing each other. We don't need to bother about that. Wait till they've done it themselves. We can come back and get them another time on the way back.
You know that. I mean, why come here? It's so hostile.
It's not even polite anymore, is it? It's like it's in your face, rude. Mm-hmm. I mean, the upside of COVID and having to wear masks is we could rob a bank and we could get away with it now because nobody would know who you are. But the sad thing is the banks are closed because of COVID. It's kind of like Catch-22. It's like which way we're going. And it's getting worse here in Cuckoo Land.
Is it getting pretty bad there? I know there's some ruckus here in the Midwest with it, but it's getting pretty bad over there. I mean, because there's whispers of lockdowns again and the second.
Oh yeah. Well, they put Germany into lockdown, didn't they? Germany's just gone into lockdown. I think France and Portugal are following. Because whatever happens over there is literally 3 weeks later here, and you know they're going to do it. I mean, they might let Christmas go, but come January it'll be. Are we doing predictions yet? Oh, we might as well do it. Okay, so yes,
you nailed this last year. If you think about it, you called a lot of this. The cyber war. Look at that. I mean, That's still going on to this day.
Oh, that's just getting worse and worse and worse.
It's-
I mean, we have to give people some positive thing. I think on an individual level, I think people might find their lives getting better if they were to use this period of as reflective and see what they can change. Even if it's sort of, making sure the neighbour's cat's fine. Just simple little things. I don't think it has to be big, major things. But the rest of us, like, the countries, have to. I mean, did you see that debacle in Glasgow the other day of that climate change? Oh, I mean, they came away with nothing. It was absolute madness. It's like all that money, all those private jets, all that, and I'm like, duh. And then the other thing they've done in Britain, they was supposed to be building a train line to the north, and the only way I can, it's like the north of Britain is a bit like the south in America. It gets pushed to one side a little bit, so they've decided they're not going to let the railway go past Leeds to Scotland anymore. Just shut them off. Now they've finished. Get rid of them.
Now you've got the barges too, stuck circling.
Yeah.
It's just,
and then the other thing here, we've got all the tankers, because I live by the water, so all the tankers are lined up. So if you're waiting for Christmas presents to buy in Target and places like that, they're on these ships out here stuck. They can't get them off fast enough because of the craziness and can't do that.
It
Jobsworth.
is. It's tough.
Jobsworth.
It's tough to get in the holiday spirit like that too. And what I've done. I mean, this helps me is I've taken discipline in watching the news. I don't watch it anymore. I'll get like a little brief, but sitting there and watching it, her and I would sit there and watch the CBS This Morning kind of thing.
No,
but
you
it's
can't.
so depressing. It is so takes everything out of you. So try, take a breather from it.
Oh, I was always a news hound, and I'm probably down to an hour a day, which for me is nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not outside, like Sky News from Europe or something, which is a little bit more sort of open and a little bit more truthful, depending which channel you're screened into, kind of a thing. But still not as nice as it should be,
No, it's not. It's not. And hopefully they clean it up, do something, and quit the fear mongering. There's a lot of that.
I doubt it. It's too much money involved.
It is. It's way too much money going in. Media rules. They really do. And we're going to take a short break here, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Christian. Post your comments right there. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're watching us from. The website, you can put them right in there in the messenger, and we'll respond to those and all that good stuff. But more with Christian Dion and Haunted Voices. Stay tuned. Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Production. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before being published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Productions has everything you are looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. Moonbow Publications and Productions, a new kind of publishing company. "20 minutes past the hour. You are watching Haunted Voices. If you're listening to us on the archive, you're listening to Haunted Voices. Join us, WLTK-DB.com. That's where you need to go. And of course, we are talking with the one and only Christian Dion, psychic extraordinaire. And we were getting into, before the break, world chaos. There's so much crap.
Quick exit.
Yeah. People are like, I'm jumping. They're out. But it's one of those things where, yeah, the world is tough. There's a lot of crazy things going on. And I hope there's light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know.
Well, I think that's kind of what when we were talking a little bit before, when we talk about YouTube, I was doing that for a while and doing the little videos, and then that got too much. And so I took a break from that. And I think a lot of it came from people were saying, why don't you do something? Why? I said, look, I do often get offered to do shows, different bits and pieces. And I'm grateful to the people that have come before, and I can stand on their shoulders to open doors. But I don't think there's as of yet a format that I would want to do, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, you get so many shows that are copies of each other, and then they don't give the quote. So I'm just waiting to see and manipulate, see what we can do for it to be a positive spin as against a negative spin. And I'm talking about television across the board, trying to find like a positive talk show to do, not a negative one. And on here we play around and have a bit of a giggle. But when we do the stuff, we do our stuff and always try to deliver it with a positive end. Because even a journey through a tunnel is a positive thing once you come out the other side. But you have to get through that tunnel. And if you're claustrophobic and sensitive to the world, working in that field is really draining, as it just literally takes out of it, because when people get on the line, it's their one chance to get a hope to go forward with, and you have to respect that. You have to understand that people are really hurting out there, and as much as we joke and giggle about with what we do and take the PIS out of ourselves, when we come to what we do, we don't. And I think that's what across the world is going to start showing itself, that the positive stuff has to rise to the top, like it did in the World War II. After World War II, everyone's light for a while, but people have short memories, and one generation later, and then it goes, and then another generation, and because they've not experienced that kind of environment. Even though there's been I wouldn't say world wars, there's been wars around the world ever since World War II. I don't think that these wars have brought positive stuff out like the World War II did. In other words, we got rid of Hitler, and then what did the Brits do? They got rid of Churchill because they didn't want him anymore. And history is repeating itself. It's like watching it all. I go, all right, we might be 10 years out, but it's right there, people. And unless we do something and put the brakes on, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess.
It's not hard to find things to do either. I mean, it's
no. Well, there's so much like lemmings, aren't they? Like like that bloody kid with the AK-40. Oh, this is a good idea. They need to bring the draft back. I mean, I know I'm crazy, but they need to bring the draft back and give the kids something to do, teach them some manners, because the bulk of them have got no manners at all. I mean, where I live in Hermosa, some of the entitlement that goes off. These kids have got those electric scooters on the sidewalk at 60 miles an hour almost. Crazy.
I don't know what's going on with the generation. I mean, I've got a younger daughter that's in that generation. Entitlement, and it's not a parental thing. Is what they're viewing. They can't be away from their electronics, their phones, whatever. Well,
in 90, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think it was 1948, George Orwell wrote 1984. Yes. And in part of it states they will be sat at tables looking at a glass screen, and there's pictures of it, and communicate with each other, not from across the table, but from around the globe. Oh, that's what we're doing, right?
We are.
What I mean, it's like,
read that book.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be knocking it because we're using it in this context, but you see them sat at dinner. They've gone to dinner or lunch, and there's 5 people around the table. They're all like this, and I'm like, why bother going out? It's just.
You're right. Like Sherry said, there's no social skills. I mean,
no,
it's tough, and
yeah.
I mean, it's paranormal in itself.
And who's going to teach their kids? That's going to be the interesting one. Or they're going to do a full 360 and be more like on YouTube. You know, YouTube is the most interesting TV at the moment, isn't that a sick thing to say? And have you seen these camper van people that go around in camper vans and do their little songs? That's getting a huge traction. These people that are quitting houses and mortgages, getting in a van and going around. It's a bit like the old days and the gypsies and the Wild West, and it makes you wonder if again this is another little phase that's coming in to open us up.
Yeah.
Distract us from the aliens and the tic tacs off the coast here. I don't live too far from those skunk works just up there and Elon Musk rats. So I'm telling you, we see things all the time around here. It's like craziness.
Have you seen some strange things, Christian? Like,
well, you do over the ocean. Yeah, you see a lot of strange lights, especially between here and San Diego, because San Diego and the bit up the top, just the other side of Santa Barbara. Somebody will tell me what there's an aircraft base, and there's like you see the two, and all of a sudden you'll see the big grey helicopters go, and you go, okay, they've lost something, or they're going to find something. Yeah, crazy. It's crazy, but what can you do?
Yeah, watch and wait, I guess.
They only take notice of the profit after it's taken place. That's the one thing you have to remember.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, they don't like to listen up front. But what can you do? What can you do?
All right. On a good note.
Is it finished now? Can we go? Is that the?
Yeah. Instead of this world gossip, let's talk about some celebs. What's going on out there in the world with them?
Oh, you have to pick them because I'm so fed up with who. Well, did you see Kanye? This Kanye West person. It's just. He's walking around now with a cloth thing over his head as fashion or something. I saw a picture of this guy. Just like, he's bonkers. And Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. What's his bloody name? Davidson, the alleged comedian. PR.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you think they deal with all this COVID stuff, these actors and actresses, and have you heard?
The bulk of them are doing as they're told, because if they want to make a movie, they have to get injected, and everybody should have the things. I've just had my booster, so I had 2 plus the booster, and it didn't make me any more crazy than I already am. Mind you, that would be a physical feat of impossibility, but absolutely get it. Please get you vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. And then I heard somebody say to me, well, we don't need to wear masks anymore. I go, yes, we do. We still need to wear masks. I said, the difference is if you're vaccinated, you won't die. That's the difference. You might get sick, but you won't die. Please get vaccinated. Please wear a mask. If that's all we can do, we're not asking a lot, really. You know what I mean? And for God's sake, most of the time, the vaccination's free for the people that need it. So, hello, just go grab it. Think of it as a good luck charm.
Stand in line, do your part. Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully it gets better out there. I really hope it does.
If you look at history, every pandemic is 3 years. So we are at the end of a 3-year cycle because, of course, we didn't know it was coming before it was coming. But I think our misbehavior is going to extend it for a couple of years, just because we're not doing it. We're getting into that. Oh, well, we can beat this. Yeah, we can if we do as we're told. We can't beat it if we don't do as we are told, or as we are requested, should I say. It's just, please take care of yourselves and your family. And if everybody just did that, this thing would be resolved.
Yeah.
But no, I don't need one. I go, yeah, you do. Yeah. And don't invite them for Christmas. If they're not vaccinated, don't invite them.
That's the choice.
If they're not, Thursday is... Thanksgiving. And so if they don't let them in. If they've not been vaccinated, don't let them in. Don't let them in. It's if they're that selfish, just because. And I'm not talking about people that are doing it for medical purposes, because that's a different ball game. But just because they don't want to do it, no, I'm sorry, that's not how this works. It's not allowed. Nah,
It is. It's tough out there. It is, and it's separating people. I mean, we just have to come together. Just do what's right.
Yeah.
Do what's
Could you imagine them saying this kind of stuff to in, like I said before, in the middle of the World War, saying, "Oh, we're not going to help," which it could have gone either way with the history of America and the Second World War. But at the end, they went, "Okay, we'll go get this sorted out." But often America's isolated more like an island in the weirdest ways. It's like, the terrorism in Northern Ireland stopped after 9/11 like that. Because what had happened was it landed on your ground, and that's what makes the difference. So COVID's landed on your ground. You're not as protected as you thought you were. It doesn't matter where it came from; it's where it's going.
That's right.
We know where it came from. We could do a whole program on that market in Asia on that one, but until they find out the truth. And like you say, you've got this cyber thing that's going off, and then His Highness is looking at getting the Ukraine back. It's I've still yet to do the predictions for next year. So
it's a tangled web out there. People don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They're completely confused.
Yeah.
They need some kind of guidance.
Something
has to give, and hopefully it does.
Oh, it always does. It will. Always does. It always comes back to the same place. But it's getting people to understand that and I know I keep saying this, until we all partake equally and together and pull together, then it can't be them and us anymore. It can't be us and them. It has to be we're in this together. This is what we have to do. And if some have to lose this bit and others have to gain this bit, it's like the homeless situation here. It's mad, and now they've decided in Santa Monica, it's a good idea that if we find the homeless $1,000 because they're homeless and they're sleeping in the streets, that will resolve the problem. I go, if they had $1,000, they wouldn't be homeless in the first place.
It makes no sense.
No. But what they did here was clever. So Venice Beach, which is very famous. So you imagine Venice, it's a big beach. So you had all the homeless people there. One day they came in and cleaned them out. And everyone, "Oh, sorry." Well, if you walk 3 blocks back, they're all there. They just moved them back to another street.
True.
You just cannot make it up. You can't make it up. And
No.
It's just going to get worse.
And it's something that people just walk by it. It's like it's become so common that they walk by it. And it would be nice to see somebody, and I have seen some people do some great things for the homeless and so forth, but most people don't, and they just walk by.
Well, you know what? It's the ones that do. I can only talk about the Hollywood end of it. The people here that do help the ones that need the help don't ever let you know that they've done it. That's the thing about the uber wealthy here. They do it and it's nice and quiet, but you get the wannabes actors that come along and think, "Oh, if I do this, serve 2 ice creams to somebody, some child, I'll get PR," and that's how they do it. As against the ones that quietly do it and helping. But until they are given the pat on the head for doing it, then everybody else will follow, especially the younger generations who haven't really had a hard time in life yet. You know what I mean?
True.
Going through schooling. I watch my nieces and nephew go through schooling, and I'm like, they're not learning anything.
No.
It's basically prison camp that they keep them in for so long, and they can't do this, and they can't tell them off, and they can't do that. Some of the stuff my niece tells me, I said, you wouldn't be here. And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "If your dad had said half the crap that they said to your grandpa, he'd have shot him." I said, "He wouldn't be here." I said, and that's where it starts, in the home. All good manners, everything starts in the home. But how many good homes are there anymore? It's and I get it. It takes 2 parents, both have to work hard. It's just, we have to reevaluate everything that's going off. You can't kick people. They did a thing here. This couple, both what they call now they call it the working homeless here. And so they had I think it was San Jose. It was close enough to San Jose. In an okay area, they had a 1-bedroom apartment. both working jobs. They got home. They couldn't afford to pay the rent. That then went from $1,000 a month to $3,000 a month overnight. That's what they're doing. So it's raking. It's just, and I get it. Landlords are business people, but if you keep going it, there's nothing left at the bottom to support your top of the pyramid, is it?
Right.
Most people are the base of a pyramid, and a few people at the top, and there are some good ones at the top that help trickle it down, but not many of them. Most of it comes from the bottom up in that context of supporting things. And then families who, again, can't be together with all sorts of bits and pieces. I don't know. I want it to change, and I pray every day for it to change. And a little bit, and we get a little bit, and I go, and then, just not quite over the bump. Just didn't quite get there. But we'll see. I don't know what it's going to take to do it, though. That's the bit that. And is it going to be another big earthquake? Is it going to be? We need a shake up to start to be good people again.
Yeah, and I definitely think, unfortunately, something like that is going to happen and shake us up the race. Yeah. It's what it seems to be these days. But it is. It's tough. And it's tough to see it. It's tough to witness it. It's tough to. It drains you emotionally, physically,
spiritually. And I think that's what we're drained of most of. Even more than emotionally, we're spiritually a drained race of people at the moment.
Because I've been doing shows here for a little while. The last few weeks, a lot of, especially the psychics that have been on, stated how exhausted. That they are.
Yeah. And it puts you off wanting to do it, because it's the same thing. Well, why people say, well, why don't you tell us? I go, well, you don't want to listen. If I do, you don't want to hear it. You just want to wait. Well, who's Robert Pattinson dating at the minute? It's really.
You won't be able to hear
people are dropping dead in the street. No. Who's he dating? I mean, I had to do it on my blog today. I put a thing up. I said, I've had enough. I was pretty loose with people leaving comments, but now it got into really naughty, and I don't mean rude. I mean, people being nasty to one another. And I went, that's it. And it's because you think, well, everybody should have their right to their opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
To an extent.
But not when it's going to hurt somebody else. And if it's, and I thought I'll give it an experiment for a while. And then I just got to the point, and I can't even remember what one it was that sent me over the edge, but it clearly wasn't one of the big ones, because it's like most things. It's never the big thing that sets you off. And I went, that's it. And I just coincidentally did it on the before we were coming on this. I said, well, that'll see the numbers go down. And then everybody went,
good. That's good.
Yeah.
They accept it.
Yeah. So we'll see. So hopefully, what I've decided to do is put this show on as coming back up onto YouTube, because that way I don't have to do any work. And then see where we can go from there, and see if we can open it up and get people interested in it. So we'll see. Because everything's got to start somewhere.
Somewhere, somehow. You need to take a second and give a shout out to a Nikki Smith.
Hello, Nikki Smith. Nikki Smith is someone that follows me on Twitter, or one of those. Yeah, and we communicate like this. And Nick has been going through a bit of a rough patch, but Nikki also just needs to do what I've said to her before. It doesn't matter what other people think. You've got to do it for yourself, and you've got to start and I say this to people, until you like yourself. And it sounds simplistic. Other people can't like you either, because you can't draw them in. And Nikki's one of these that, without having a go, Nikki, too much read in the papers and the magazines and the BS world, and start to do your own stuff. She's an amazing artist and bright, but doesn't believe, who's going to pick her? Well, if you don't do the drawing, you can't get people to buy the painting, kind of symbolically. Yeah. The old one used to be, if you don't buy the lottery ticket, you can't win it, right? But I got fed up of that one. So, talking about, well, never mind, gun battle in Pasadena as we're speaking.
But
It's
that's
a bit bloody close. I just realized how close that is.
she had
So
to
what
get
you gonna
off from work or something, so she wanted to give you a shout out.
Yeah, yeah.
There-
Thank you.
We got to take another quick break.
Oh, good. What you flogging this break?
I don't know. There's let's see. We're gonna flog this break here. I think we got a nice holiday break for everybody. And I think you guys are gonna like this. It's nice, get into the spirit a little bit with all the chaos, all the chaos going on.
Sadly, this is ginger ale, so we can't get into the spirit just yet.
Water. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk more with Christian. Join the fun. You can watch us there live, Facebook, YouTube, on the website. You can watch us there as well. If you have any comments, post them, and we'll get to those as soon as possible. But more Haunted Voices on the way. Stay tuned. Have you ever longed for just one holiday with a loved one who has passed? Christina Bloom can help you and your family have that holiday. With her mediumship skills, she can contact your loved one on the other side and bring them through as the honored guest for your holiday celebration. By conference call, video chat, or in person, if local to the Southeast Wisconsin region. To schedule your holiday party with Spirit, email Christina at ChristinaBloom.com. That's Christina at ChristinaBloom.com. I just love that. Love that. 42 minutes past the hour. Welcome back, folks. Those of you just tuning in, you're listening to Haunted Voices. And we're going to be getting the archive up here probably tomorrow morning for you. If you guys missed the show, you can find that on Apple, Google Play, all that fun stuff. The recorded shows, the lives will be set to watch right after this show airs. They do that automatically, which is pretty cool with technology. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. Over there on Facebook, they're all under WLTK-DB.
What does it even stand for? WLTD, whatever it is.
It's the station's call letters. WLTK, short LTK, Let's Talk. And then
what's DB then?
DB stands for digital broadcasting. Like you have FM-FM-AM-DB.
You see, I always knew you were a nerd. I knew you were a nerd.
I'm with the
you
nerdy
just
round.
reeled that off like as though.
And people were telling, why didn't you name the station something that people can remember? And it's because they have to work at this and they'll remember this. It's just going to take them a little longer.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Everything is taken.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You should call yourself something really rude, and I guarantee that's not taken.
That's a great idea.
I don't know what I don't know what I dare say on here, but yeah, something really rude, like Bollocks Limited or something. Something sucky.
Bollocks Limited. The Bollocks Network.
Yeah. It's got a ring to it, actually. There is a Porsche around here that has BOLLOX on it as a license plate.
I love that.
Yeah. I don't think they have to be a Brit, because unless you're exposed to Brits, you don't really know what that means. But and we'll leave it like that.
TW wants to send their love to you.
Oh, she's fabulous, this TW. She's kind of my blog guard dog.
She's a good one.
That from Telltale. She's thank you for your services. Yeah, she was in the horses too. She's interesting is TW. Very smart lady.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a lot we've been talking about. We've discussed world chaos.
True.
We've hopefully you guys can bind together, and if you're out there and about, donate to your food pantries and things like that as well. This time of year, especially, I can't stress that enough. I've seen those in action, and it's really neat how the donations come together and they separate that and hand these meals to these people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the world can screw up and come together a little bit like that. And that's
right.
That's
well, if we can do it for 2 weeks, we can do it for 2 years, can't we?
Amen.
If you think of it the other way around.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. And it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Times are tough for everybody, but if there's extra, by God, give it up. Give it up. So somebody out there can enjoy it and have a nice hot meal.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Now, about you, do you have any special plans this holiday season? Do you have anything going on? Are you just going to relax?
Well, normally I would have gone back to Britain for Christmas, but that's not possible at the moment. I might be going to the middle of the country for Christmas, but we have to wait and see because it depends on things work there. So that would be nice and interesting. If not, then it will just be here, which is also nice and interesting. And then I will just go to the middle of the country in the new year. So either way around, that's kind of sorted. And the odd one for me is Thanksgiving, because when you're not brought up with something, it's like you go, oh, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. But it doesn't have that. It's not like Christmas. Well, I shouldn't even say that because if you're in Israel, you're not brought up with Christmas either. But it's just not in your genetics, you know. But I shall go to some friends who are listening as I speak. On Thanksgiving, and we'll just have a little quiet Thanksgiving thing together, you know, just quiet one. What else? And trying to work on all these projects ideas to do a show, and just waiting for the right people in Hollywood land to come along and say, okay, we'll give you the opportunity, we'll put you on air, brave people, and see what I got. Yeah, because there's lots of things. It's just it's just trying to get through the door most of the time, as you know. And that's why, you know, friends suggested to do the YouTube thing, and I fought it for so long. And then when I did it, and like, you know, with the radio show, it's not just that 2 minutes; it's the bits you have to do to get together to do it. And when you feel that you're not getting the feedback, and I don't mean this kind of feedback, this kind of feedback, it's almost soul destroying. But then then the stubborn kicks in, and which is like, okay, I'll do this with Todd, because it was funny. It's like, I'm not bloody doing it anymore. And then you went, oh, do you want to come and do the show? And I went, yeah, I get the joke. And so I said, I'll go put this up on my YouTube channel, and let's see if that puts me back in the mood to do things, you know. So,
and if it does, and like I've always told you, and you ever want to go live or do anything like that,
don't you stop. As some of my friends been on to you about getting me to go live. Oh God!
Because you're Christian, you are great at what you do.
Yes, indeed.
You are amazing.
Thank you,
you touch thousands of people, and what you say has meaning. So these are things that I like.
But you see, you've known me long enough to know that I actually, even in jokes, never say anything that hasn't got some connection to the real world in it, you know, which is what gets me into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people say, oh, well, why didn't you say that was going to happen? I go, if you go read the blog, you will see I did. It was just some of it's coded because I'm not that stupid. You know what I mean? Hello. I want to keep breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind taking the piss out of the celebrities. That's their job. If you put yourself up there, darling, I'm so fabulous, and oh, hello, you need a little bit of pulling down. But I tell you what is interesting. I don't know if you know much about Formula One, which I know nothing about Formula One. Right? I know you get in a car and you drive, but what I do know about Lewis Hamilton, have you seen what he's up to? He's a bugger, that one. Mm-mm. So he came from nowhere into that kind of racing. And to get to that level from a working class kid who is, you know, half white, half black, is in itself just not just
That's
but
amazing.
To lead it. So he's in Qatar over the weekend doing one of them running around things, and he's got a rainbow helmet on with a string of pearls, and I'm going, good for you. And then the more they knock him of what he's doing, the more outrageous it gets, kind of a thing, you know, because they're trying to pull the World Cup out of Saudi Arabia because of their, you know, they kill people for no reason at all, kind of thing. And what was the other one that's going on? So there's a lot of little bits and pieces coming along, and I'd love to interview those people, that just stand, they don't, not so much this, but just stand there and go, so sometimes subtly and so not subtly, and let the kids see those people as heroes, not as these so-called rappers. I always thought rappers is what you had a little room in your house where you wrap things. I didn't realize it was some kind of thing they actually did. And then I saw a picture of that Drake person who had been to a strip club and had got thrown $1 million at strippers. Now, listen, girls, I know you've got to earn your living, and I haven't. If they're daft enough to give you that much money for showing your woo-woo, please do. Nothing to do with me.
The American way.
However, to then post it on Instagram and that's what is a hero, that's not a man. That's a coward. That's a pig. That's not, that's just sexism gone wild, and it's bad enough. People thought it had gone away. No, sexism is alive and as horrible as it's ever used to be. In fact, worse, because it's more blatant now. And they think it's fun. It's like, I'm go get her. And whatever it is that they say, I haven't got a clue. I should be laughing because in the old days I would have been, because I'm not the most PC person you've ever met. I would have taken them to part, but you can't anymore because you can't be that jokingly not PC to get the message across. Where are stand-up comedians going to work? There's nowhere left because you can't say I'm an equal opportunity to take the Michael out of everybody, including myself, because I'm the first one to take it out of myself. So after that, all bets are off. But you can't do that anymore. You can't even be slightly off color, inverted commas, because you're suddenly this, you're suddenly that, and then what was the other thing? There was a cricket guy, an Asian cricket guy in England, and he was talking about how it was racist and and then they found out that he was doing the same thing 10 years ago. And I'm like, if you start putting it up on that magic machine, it's there forever. You might think you can take it down,
right?
But those people will come to get it. Then you have journalists who are not journalists anymore. Nobody investigates the story. They just repeat whatever it is that they've heard from, God knows where. Everybody's got a blog. Everybody's got this. Everybody's that. I don't know. And then, of course, you have the Kardashians who rule Hollywood, kind of thing.
The Kardashians, yeah.
And they're about as fascinating as a bag of poop. But the
stellar example.
Oh, it's just. I remember having a chat with the lady at E-Television who put them on, and I said to her, I said, well, clearly if you can put the Kardashians on and make money, I said, you could put me on. She said, no, you're way more terrifying than Kardashian. Wouldn't touch me. Wouldn't touch me. Tell me that to my face. Wouldn't touch me. Too dangerous. Calling me dangerous? No. Really?
We are out of time, my friend.
Oh, are we done?
Yep, we are out of time. Give the blog information, the
psychicgossip.blogspot.com.
Yes.
YouTube Christian Dion, Twitter Christian Dion, Psychic Gossip, I think. Anyway, I'll put the link up afterwards at the thing, and I'll put this on my blog so everybody else can come see you two.
Nice.
I can't believe that. Well, that went quick.
It every time.
I might do this again if it goes that fast.
Yes.
This is not like the BBC where they drag it out for bloody hours.
I'm surprised
you have to sit there. No.
I'm surprised you even mentioned those letters. God.
I got thrown off the BBC.
I know.
You want to hear that story? Yeah, I got thrown off for being too Christian.
For being himself, folks. He was
for being too Christian. My friend had an early morning talk show. And I used to 3 hours she was on, and I would go and do the last hour, so it jammed up the phone lines, and then that pissed off the head of radio. And he said to her, "Oh, we can't have Christian on anymore because he blocks the phone lines." Well, hello, that's supposed to be the idea, right? And then she said, "Well, why not?" "Well, it's not a very Christian thing to do on a Sunday morning." She goes, "His name's Christian."
You can't get any closer.
And then she said, and then she swung around and she said to him, "And I'm Jewish. What's the difference?" But you can have a Jewish host, but you can't have a Christian guest on the television, on the radio, and the BBC. So but that's one of my most proud achievements is getting thrown off the BBC.
That's hard.
I love it.
Do. That's so hard to do, Christian.
You could be Saddam Hussein, and you'd still get more airtime on the BBC than I would.
Well, you've gone down with the greats, my friend.
This is true, darling. This is true. But there's a few others I've got thrown into, but rarely do I get thrown out of.
But
and then I ended up with you.
It's always awesome having you on here. I love having you on the show. I love catching up with you, and we're definitely not going to wait as long as we did last time. We're going to keep them better.
Yeah, that's what you said last time, and it's like having a baby.
Yeah.
So when's the baby due? Baby must be due in June time, right? Around June.
Yeah. First couple weeks of July, I think the baby's due.
Oh, Gemini, you poor bugger. Oh, I do feel sorry. Oh.
Yeah.
See if you can send it back and say, can you let it come in September because they're nicer?
Guess. What do you think it's going to be, a boy or a girl?
I'll tell you off air. I'm not going to tell you on air.
I love
I
it.
just found out.
All
Tonight
right.
Anyway, so
Okay.
we can wait.
All right. And on that.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's the first of three. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to save that for later. But it's the first of three babies. So that's all. There's a prediction.
Wow.
And it's not triplets. So you've got two predictions out of me, you bugger, in one.
Wow.
Sorry, Sherry.
That is great stuff.
Cool.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time.
You're welcome. It's grand to see you again.
Oh,
I think we need to put some powder on your head next time. You're a bit shiny, love.
it's getting shiny up there. I got to get some of that base. What do they call it? Base? Women, the cover up?
Just put some corn flour on it. You
Corn
white enough. Corn flour on.
Or just wear it.
It'll just look. You only have dandruff now. That's it. You don't have hair. You just have dandruff.
Powder.
We'll do that in it.
Cornstarch.
Yeah. Hey, go get some. Slap some up. It's a bloody good job I'm not there because I literally would have done it. Gone.
All right.
Or in the old days, we would have said, Todd, you have a fabulous face for radio, love. Keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep it up. Yeah, I don't know what you're growing around that mouth of yours, but
it's gray. It used to be.
Well, shave the bloody thing off then, and then nobody'd see it.
It's different. I don't know. I've had it.
Boot polish.
Yes.
Boot polish.
Advice taken, my friend.
Bright red for Christmas.
Bright red. Yeah. That's good stuff. I know,
we
but
need to run out of even more time.
Thank you enough for coming on here. And you folks, I want you, Paranormal Pete's going to be coming on live next year at 10/11 Eastern.
Are we missing Paranormal Pete? I like the sound of Paranormal Pete.
He's coming up.
Is he kind of bonkers too? He must be if it's called Paranormal. He must be off his rocker, that poor Paranormal.
Yeah.
Paranormal. I can't even bloody say Paranormal Pete.
Pete is also a psychic medium.
But I think someone who hid it for so long and then Jesus, somebody said, time for you to wake up, cocker.
Yep.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3 years. Can't hide from them. Can't hide. They come and find you. No, I'll get you.
Pete, if you're listening, there's the validation, my friend. There's the validation, because that's
maybe I should go on his show as well and ruin that one as well.
I ruined that one. Well, we are going to keep in touch. You stay tuned for 1 second. We're going to put you back in the green room for a moment.
Okay. I know what's happening now.
There's nothing left in the minibar.
There was nothing in the bloody minibar to start with, not even a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, now when you came, you asked for a minibar. You didn't ask for it to be filled.
Now, you're getting way too cheeky for your own. And one should always respect their elders.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your schedules to tune in and listen tonight. It has been a lot of fun with Christian.
Todd, here is your reminder. Call probation. Todd, here is your
Next.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop.
That thing's sensitive, isn't it? All right, you fine folks. Stay tuned for Paranormal Pete coming up, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into Haunted Voices tonight. And from all of us at WLTK-DB, we want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday season. Go out there and just hug people, man. Just grab somebody and give them a big hug. Just do it.
Not in public, however, you'll get arrested, especially you.
Twice.
Third time's a charm.
All right, folks. All you take care. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.